Hi there and welcome. This is actually a video about a quiz. I published it as a genuine quiz on my website first, and I noticed that a lot of the answers were wrong. More specifically, more than half of the answers were wrong. So I decided to make a video and give some explanations. If you like to try the quiz first without my explanations, you can click on the link that you find in the description below the video and try the quiz there. But now on to the quiz. There are a few questions about R programming, R expressions, a bit about packages, and the origins of R. And we jump right in. Which of the following statements about the origin of R are correct? R is an implementation of the S language, yes. R was named after Ross Ihacker and Robert Gentleman, yes. The R language may be one step ahead of the S language, but I don't know if the next version will be called Q, probably not. But this is important if you want to explain what R is. R is both a programming language and a software environment. Now this is the first question about the magic number 8. There will be more questions of this type later. Which of these R expressions result in the output 8? 4 plus 4, yes, and 2 to the power of 3, yes. And now it's good to know that as John Chambers said, the creator of the S language, everything that happens is a function call, and so even mathematical operations like plus are functions, so we can call the function plus and pass the arguments 5 and 3 onto it. And the same here with the division. We can use the function divide and pass it the arguments 16 and 2, and we will get the result 8. You can try it out in R if you don't believe it. This one, number 4, of course doesn't work because 3 to the power of 2 is 9 and not 8. Okay, now this is one that a lot of people got wrong. R is the world's most powerful programming language for statistical computing, machine learning and graphics, and has a thriving global community of users, developers and contributors. Where can you find this quote? And a lot of people wouldn't believe that it's a Microsoft quote. There's a website called MRAN. MRAN is the Microsoft R Application Network, so Microsoft has an R version with a bit of enhanced functionality like performance. I must admit that I haven't used it yet. In normal R or RStudio you can use parallel computing even on Windows, so yeah, I haven't used it yet, but Microsoft does provide an R version, and they have this quote on their website. Now it's about R programming. Which of the following statements are true? R enables vectorization. Yes, that's indeed a powerful tool, and vectorized operations can replace a lot, not all, but a lot of loops that you might program in other languages. R enables a functional programming style, yes, and R enables an object-oriented programming style also, yes. More about that later. Rule-based programming, not that I know of. Then this is a question that most people got right. What does CRAN stand for? Even if coding R all night might be a valid description of a lot of R users, it's of course the Comprehensive R Archive Network, and it's not a collection of languages that I put together here. Okay, we go on. It's the second question about the magic number 8. Let's suppose we create a matrix with the values from 1 to 8 and 2 rows. Which of the following expressions will give us the result 8 again? And now the concept that is good to know here is indexing. So we use square brackets in R to index, and we can say we want the 8th element of the matrix, and that is the number 8. We can also say we can index by row and column. So second row, we said we wanted 2 rows in the matrix. Second row, 4th element is also 8. Here 4, 2 doesn't work because we don't have 4 rows, we only have 2 rows. And the round brackets don't work because these work in connection with functions, and a is not a function, so passing arguments to the function a doesn't work here. So we can either count all the elements or index by row and column. And now it's about packages, especially packages by Hadley Wickham, and which of these are currently on CRAN. And here I played a bit with versions, different versions of packages. For example, with ggplot and ggplot2, but only the newer packages currently on CRAN. This is not true for Reshape. Even the old version is still on CRAN and Reshape 2 as well. And then we have Plier and the newer dplyr. So all these packages are there. Only the first version of ggplot is not on CRAN anymore. Now, some of you might have noticed that Hadley Wickham is a fan of cats, so several packages have associations of that kind, like purr. It's a great package for functional programming and gives functions that are more consistent than the apply family in BaseR. And forcats is a very useful package to work with factors, which can be a pain in BaseR. And feather is a lightweight data format, but the one that I was referring to is Meow. There is a package called Meow, and it downloads random cat pictures, but it was not written by Hadley Wickham. Okay, then we talk about the pipe operator and which person does it relate to. This is the pipe operator. If you haven't seen it, it may look a bit strange, percent larger than percent, and it's a great tool for R programming because you can make your code a lot more readable. You can pass on arguments and you can avoid nested round brackets, for example, in function calls. So our scripts become more elegant and more readable. And there was a painter called René Magritte who painted a pipe, and he said, "Ceci n'est pas une pipe." This is not a pipe. And there's an R package called Magritte R that introduced the pipe operator, so this is the right answer. Okay, on to another R package called Caret. What does it stand for? The name, it's an abbreviation, and it stands for classification and regression training. The rest are fake answers. And it was created by Max Kuhn. So it's great for machine learning and data mining in R. And there's another question about Caret. Caret is great for cross-validation and resampling, and it offers several methods for that in the so-called train control object. So this is a hard question, especially if you're not too much into machine learning. You could look it up in the documentation. So in the train control object you find cross-validation, you find repeated cross-validation, there are bootstrapping methods, but this one, CV265, was made up by me. Okay, and now about numbers and undefined numbers. NA is quite popular in R for a missing value, but that's not the only one. You also get NaN, which stands for not a number, and you've got inf for infinite. So if you divide 1 by 0, it's infinite. And also if you add 1 divided by 0 plus 1 divided by 0, it's infinite. So only this one. If you subtract the two, then you get NaN, not a number. Try it out. Alright, almost finished. We spoke about object-oriented programming at the beginning, and now it's more specifically about which of the following are not systems for object-oriented programming in R. Most popular are probably S3 classes. You also get S4 classes, and there's a great package by Winston Cheng that's called R6 that introduces R6 classes. So you can do object-oriented programming in R. Of course, this one here, S-Class S500, is not a system for object-oriented programming but a car, and this one, F6, is a cigarette make. Okay, and the last question, it's the last one, also the third one, about the magic number 8. And we have a lot of expressions and we want to see which of them result in 8. If you don't believe it, try it out in R. Rounding 7.5 to the next integer yields 8. What I didn't know until recently is also that 8.5 is rounded to 8. The rule says round to the nearest even number. Then there are two functions, I don't know how well known they are. Floor rounds to 8, so to the lower integer, and ceiling here rounds to 8 to the next higher integer. And then also if you round 8.00 to two decimals, r simplifies to 8. This doesn't work here because 8.01 and 2 decimals stays 8.01, but you can round 8 to 2 decimals and it is displayed as 8. 6.2 of course doesn't work because they don't get added, it's 6. So here is 6. We have 6 out of 8 expressions that lead to the result 8. And that was it. I hope you enjoyed it. We can just check, and here we see that we got all the answers right. Thanks for watching and enjoy R programming.